Welcome back everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're dealing with another seasonal championship. This one is called Street Tuners, and yeah, we're in B-class modern sports cars. So yeah, not my favourite kind of cars, quite frankly, especially in B-class where they don't usually have the most amount of power or speed or anything like that, but there are a few good cars in there, and yeah, at the end of the day it gives you 5 points towards getting this amazing Plymouth Barracuda. So yeah, which is well worth the effort, as it is a fantastic car. And if you like your classic American cars, then yeah, it's definitely a car that you need to get your hands on, quite frankly. So yeah, let's get there and see what we're going to be racing in, and where we're going to be racing, which is also important information. So yeah, here we go. Good time, so we'll shoot the thing. These two cars are a bit of a squabble.
You have arrived at your destination.
Right. And you also get a nice 1967 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray as well if you do this championship and win it. So yeah, these are the cars we're going to be in. The 2017 Alpine A110, probably my favourite car here. Then the BMW Z4M Coupe. Now this would be my favourite car here if it was the convertible version, but since it's a coupe, which is not particularly great looking, and then it slips down to second. Then we've got a pair of S2000s from Honda, the standard one and the CR. Then a pair of Mazdas, the MX-5 and the RX-8. I'd say the MX-5 is probably my third favourite car here. And then finally the Nissan 370Z, which is my least favourite car here because that engine is a bit of a bore. So yeah, we're going to start off strong. We're going to go with the Alpine first. So yeah, plenty of torque and power. Doesn't weigh very much, as you can see. It's easily the lightest car here. Oh no, the Mazda is a little bit lighter, but as you can see, even though it's what 122 pounds lighter, this has nearly 100 horsepower more and nearly 100 pounds-feet of torque more as well, which yeah, 100 or so pounds is not going to make much a difference when you got that much extra power and torque. So yeah, fantastic handling car, brakes really well, got good acceleration, and it looks really rather good as well. So yeah, all in all, a really rather fantastic car, and easily one of the better, you know, cars that is inspired by an older vehicle that for modern times. If you think back to the likes of the Fiat 500 or the newer Beetles and stuff like that, yeah, this for my money is definitely the best of the bunch. To take a hot hatchback engine and shove it in a sports car like this is quite inspiring, especially given how light this is. Definitely feels like it's coming in the footsteps of the Alfa Romeo 4C, which again was also a lightweight, small engine sports car. I think this is actually lighter than that car. Unfortunately, I can't say for sure, especially in this game, because unfortunately Alfa Romeo are not in this game, which is a big shame really. Hopefully it will come in the festival players at some point, but like I think Mitsubishi did in Forza Horizon 4 at some point, so hopefully that's the case with Alfa Romeo in this game. Yeah, even in the wet, this is a fantastic handling car. Have one of the smallest engines here, but it still packs a punch. I don't know why these are struggling. Maybe I lowered the difficulty for some challenge or something. I'll have to take a look at that, but yeah, they seem to be struggling to keep up. This is a fantastic car and all, but it's not the most powerful one we can choose from. And despite being quite a small engine, that's turbocharged, it actually sounds pretty good as well. I know it's probably a hard sell to sell a sports car with only a 1.8 litre engine, but it kind of keeps in line with the classic Alpine from the 70s really. Small engine and a lack of weight. Although with this, there's not a lack of power either. Alpine giving us a resounding win there. And more importantly gives us 20 points to the championship overall, so we've got a really solid start to this championship. So let's move on to the second race. Right, so this seems like a bit more of a handling course, and even though obviously the Alpine has great handling, it's, yeah, not the lightest car here, so I think we're going to actually go for the Mazda MX-5. Underpowered, granted, easily the least power here, but it is also the lightest here. Has bang on 50-50 weight distribution, which the Nissan doesn't have, the other Mazda doesn't have. The Honda S2000 does, and the BMW does, but yeah, the Alpine is quite, you know, rear heavy. Yeah, rear heavy. So yeah, but I still want to try this out because it's always nice to try out in the underdog in this class, because as you can see, it's also the lowest PI here by a considerable margin. So yeah, but still, 155 horsepower and 148 pound-feet of torque in a car that weighs barely 2,300 pounds is hardly a little amount. And yeah, as you can see by the handling there, it's still pretty good. So yeah, fingers crossed it does well. But yeah, obviously we are going in the underdog car here, so who knows what will happen, but it should hopefully still be fun. Oh, when it's raining. I don't think you can put your roof up in a race, to be honest, unfortunately. Then again, this might not even be one of those cars where you can put the roof up, because it's somewhere where you can. So I'm going to get absolutely soaked. Hopefully the rain evens things out in terms of what other cars can do. This sounds even better than in the Alpine, to be honest. Keeping things simple as well by just having a normal aspirated 2-litre engine. Not much that's complex about this car, but that's part of the appeal about it, to be honest. Conditions there caught me out slightly. Doing pretty well for having the least power here. See, they've upgraded a couple of the GT86s to compete against us, because they're just outside of B class. Obviously they're a bit more in line with what we are. Frankly, it surprises me that they aren't in B class as well, given they have slightly more power than we do. I think they have more torque as well. Yeah, they're heavier, but they're still a pretty good handling car, so it surprises me that they're not in B class. This is, and it's arguably got some of its own flaws, so the fact that this is in B class and that isn't is a big surprise, to be honest. As you can see, they're gaining on me on the straights. So I have about 200 horsepower and I only have 155. Extra torque to deal with all that weight that they have extra over us. So we got getting a bit jumbled up together, thankfully. And there we go, a good victory there. A bit more of a challenge that time, purely because we were the lowest powered, lowest PI car that we could choose from, but still, a good challenge is a challenge regardless. So yeah, again, get the only 20 points. Both of the Toyota 86s are in 2nd and 3rd, and then RX-8 is in 4th, and another 86 is in 5th. So yeah, still everything to play for in this championship, so let's move on to the 3rd and final race. So this 3rd and final race is a bit more straight heavy, so yeah, we're going to go in what is just about the 2nd most powerful car here. Nearly the first, as you can see it's only 2 horsepower down and 8 pounds-feet of torque down on the Nissan there, but it also weighs only a little bit more, despite having that, you know, heavy coupe roof on it that it wouldn't normally have over the convertible. But it's got a really nice engine, bang on 50-50 weight distribution, and yeah, speed is good, handling and acceleration are all good. So yeah, got high hopes for this, doing well in this championship. So let's see what it can do. But yeah, fantastic car overall, and like I said, it's only really the fact it's got a coupe roof on it that is a bit of a downer. Doesn't seem really all that useful, to be honest. Aside of maybe having a bit more practicality than the convertible, but you know, if you want something practical, buy a saloon or a hatchback. Revs really nicely though, far higher than the Nissan, and it sounds better as well. That Nissan engine is a bit of a engine with a wearisome drone to it, much like the 350Z as well, by the way. So never been a massive fan of that engine, no matter how much power it kicks out. Handles beautifully as well, despite weighing more than the previous 2 cars. Still extremely well balanced and more than capable of dealing with corners at speed. And when you've done clowning around a corner, you've got all that extra power and torque. Larger inline 6 engine. Where we get the power on. Swallow up the Toyota. Even upgraded, it's no match for us at the straights. +60 miles an hour. Absolutely effortless. Barely scrubs off any speed as well around those corners. An amazingly convincing win there from the Z4. Absolutely superb car. Just a shame we don't have the convertible version on this game, because then I'd be, yeah, definitely rating it a lot higher. But still, a win is a win, and that means we get the full 60 points, we get the Corvette as a reward for doing the championship, and we get 5 points towards getting that Barracuda. Obviously I already have it, but if you do this championship, that's obviously a quarter of the way there. So yeah, well worth doing as a championship, not just because it's fun, but also it gives you those 5 points, and yeah, it's easy to do and is over in no time at all. So yeah, nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.